tonight on CTV3 News. CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture, Servo Labaiza, breaks down new government-regulated sugar prices, detailing changes across production, distribution, and retail levels. Also, farmers in Belize could face increased production costs as global pressures continue to affect the price of key agriculture inputs. And while fuel and agriculture inputs are on the rise, the GOB continues to combat the Fusarium pest affecting the sugar industry. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, March 17th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity. Right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The government of Belize has introduced new pricing regulations for locally produced sugar, marking the first major adjustment in decades for the industry. The revised prices, which came into effect in January, apply to both brown sugar and plantation white sugar, and now include controlled prices for millers, distributors, and retailers. Prior to the changes, the price for locally produced brown sugar had remained unchanged since 2001, while plantation white sugar had not seen an adjustment since 2016. Over the years, producers indicated that they had effectively been subsidizing local consumption because the selling price did not reflect rising production and operational cost. In response, the government approved a revised pricing framework designed to better reflect the realities of the sugar industry while maintaining oversight of retail costs. The changes also paved the way for the introduction of pre-packaged sugar for the local market. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, Servo Baiza, explained the breakdown of the new pricing schedule during a briefing today.
There's a control price now at how the mill can sell brown sugar and plantation white. It would be 70 cents. If you go by pound, it would be 70 cents now for brown sugar. The 25 kilogram sack is 38.50, and the maximum retail price is $77 for the 50 kilogram. So the mill now also has a control price of how the price which wasn't there before. We didn't control the price at which the mill used to sell before. Now we're controlling the price at which the mill sells now. And I'll explain that in a little while. And then we also set in a price for the distributors, the middlemen, the ones that go and buy from the mill, and now they will be the ones to be able to sell to the different end retailers. So you have the mill that produces, you have the people who buy from the mill, and they in turn go and distribute throughout the country. So those are what we call the distributor price. And now we also put a control price per district to take into consideration distances from the factory. Before, for instance, like I said, the 39 cents and the 75 cents that we had on plantation white did not take into consideration the distances. So for instance, the same 39 cents applied to San Pedro, the same 39 cents applied to Toledo, Punta Gorda, and that didn't, that really didn't make any sense. To transport the sugar from Orange Rock to Toledo is different from transporting the sugar from Orange Rock to Corozal. There's a different cost to that. So we took that into consideration, and so we put a distributor price per district. So each district now has its own distributor price, and again per pound, per 25 kilogram bag, and per 50 kilogram bag.
Baiza noted that the updated structure establishes specific control prices not only at the production level, but also for distributors and retailers to ensure consistency across the supply chain.
And then we have the retail price that the stores can sell. And so now, and again, we have it by district. So again, if you look at the SI, the Corozal district would be 8 cents per pound of brown sugar. Orange Rock district, 86 cents. Belize district, 86 cents. Belize district mainland, 86 cents. Belize District, the Keys, 90 cents. Cayo, 88 cents. Tancred, 90 cents. And Toledo District, 90 cents. So that's for the brown sugar. And then the same thing for the plantation white. So where the price for brown sugar, you can see went up, well, from 39 cents now to 88 cents in the case of Corozal, or 86 cents for Belize District. There's quite a so that one you could say that the increase was I believe it's like 47 cents, if my math is correct, no? In terms of the increase from 39 cents to what it is now. For the plantation white, it's not as much because plantation white was already adjusted in 2016, and so the adjustment is less in terms of the percentage. But again, we did the same thing here. We put a control price on the mill, and then we also put a control price on the distributors and a control price on the retail. And again, by district. Again, like I explained, to take into consideration the transportation costs of moving the sugar from Orange Rock to the different districts. And so now for plantation white now, it was previously 75 cents, and now for Corozal District it's 98 cents, Orange Rock District 96 cents, Belize District 96. Belize District Mainland, Belize District Keys is $1, Kaya District 98, Stan Creek $1, and Toledo District $1. So those are the changes that were done.
CEO Baiza also noted that the control prices does not apply to prepackaged sugar, which is being left at the discretion of the market to support competition.
These control prices that we have, that we set, is for that sugar that is not packaged. I mean, these control prices are for the sugar that are sold in bulk by the factory, distributed to the different stores, and they take and pack it into those clear plastics. That's the control price that we have, is for that kind of sugar. The packaged sugar does not fall under these regulations. So pretty much what we're saying is that the packaged sugar that comes from ESR or any other business that chooses to buy the sugar from ESR, BSI, or I think in the near future we will probably have Santander sugar too. They can take and they can pack, and they will be able to sell or compete amongst each others, basically.
Officials say the new measures are intended to create a more sustainable pricing model for the sugar industry while ensuring that consumers continue to have reliable access to locally produced sugar. Farmers in Belize could soon face increased production costs as global pressures continue to affect the price of key agricultural inputs. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, Servulo Baiza, says rising fuel prices are among the external factors already placing pressure on the agricultural sector. According to Baiza, the increase in fuel costs affects several aspects of farming operations, including transportation, machinery use, and the overall cost of moving agricultural goods. He explained that another major concern is the expected rise in fertilizer prices, which could significantly affect farmers across the country. Baiza noted that fertilizers are a critical input for many crops, and higher prices could increase production costs for farmers and potentially impact yields if producers are forced to reduce usage. In anticipation of these challenges, the ministry says it has been exploring alternative solutions to help farmers manage the expected pressures.
These external shocks, are always difficult, I think, for our producers, and so we do foresee that. I mean, it will bring additional hardship in terms of the cost of fuel, not only for just as one of the inputs of production, But also we have to look at, for instance, fertilizers. For instance, fertilizers is another key component for production. And the last time when the war broke out between Russia and Ukraine, the prices shot for fertilizer shot up, I think, over 100%. It hasn't. I don't think it has happened as yet right now, but it. We foresee that the prices for fertilizer will go up, and certainly that means that the cost of production from our farmers will also increase. No? We have been working, trying to work along with them for them to do their own, what we would call organic fertilizers, but it's not. It's easier. It's not as easy, no, as we would want to to, to be. It's not as easy not to do that, no. But we are working along with them, trying to show them other methods, whether it be composting, whether it be the biofabricas, where they produce their own organic fertilizers. Um, we are stepping up in terms of trying to do those type of training. The first phase of Sembrando Vida did introduce the biofabricas, where in all the different districts. So one of the things we're trying to do is to make sure that these biofabricas are working and producing the organic fertilizers. The second phase of Sembrando Vida hopefully will start later this year, and also encompasses again more biofabricas. No? So we're hoping that these can help in terms of the trying to substitute some of those fertilizers that we have to import.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise says it continues to monitor and manage cases of screwworm in the country following the detection of the first case in late 2025. Chief Executive Officer in the ministry, Servo Lobiza, provided an update today on the situation, noting that the pest is not endemic in Belize and management is ongoing.
We have screwworm now is endemic in the country. So what we have to do now is just manage it. The first phase in terms of screwworm was prevention, trying to prevent it from coming into the country. The next phase after prevention was control. We tried to control it when it came in. It came in Toledo. Tried to control it down south, and it gradually and it was gradually progressing to the country until we have it throughout the country now. So it is endemic now. So right now we are in a management phase. It's no longer an emergency basically because we have it all over, and we're waiting for hopefully in the near future we start into the eradication phase, where we work along with ORISA and USDA, which were the ones who basically funded the eradication of screwworm back in the 80s and 90s. No? Screwworm was eradicated the last time in 1994, I believe. That's when screwworm was eradicated from Belize. So right now, screwworm has reached almost, I think, the middle of Mexico, basically. And that's where they're trying to control it from going more northward.
In the wider region, the infestation has spread as far north as central Mexico. Authorities there, along with international partners, are implementing measures to prevent the parasite from advancing farther towards the United States.
Certainly, the Americans are trying to make sure that it doesn't reach their border. So all efforts right now are in trying to control it there in Mexico. So all efforts in terms of the release of sterile flies is being done in Mexico right now to try to control it there. Two more plants are being, I think, are soon to be commissioned. I believe one in Texas and one in Mexico to produce more flies. Back in 1994, when screwworm was eradicated, I think we were releasing around, I think, 900 million sterile flies a week. Right now, I believe from Panama, the plant in Panama was only, the maximum capacity was 100 million sterile flies per week. So we're nowhere close to the production of sterile flies, which is the what they're using, what was used back then to eliminate screwworm, to eradicate screwworm. With the commissioning of the new plants coming in on stream, we'll be able to, they will be able to produce more sterile flies, and hopefully we can get back up to the volumes necessary so that then we will start coming down again with an eradication phase. But for right now, we're just in a management phase, which basically means that we work with our farmers, we give them training so that they can treat their animals. They need to check their animals more frequently, treat their animals, any wound or whatever, they have to treat it so that they don't get infested with screwworm.
Coming up next, Belize faces alarming obesity crisis. Over 42% of adults and rising childhood rate fuels chronic disease surge. Stay tuned.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails, paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit provides comprehensive information services to assist citizens in obtaining official documentation related to key life events. You can apply for birth, death, marriage, adoption, or deed poll certificates for records that have already been registered. You can also request tailored information extracts or certified copies of documents about specific life events. All Vital Statistics information services are available through the new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. You can complete all services online from the comfort of your own home, or if you prefer face-to-face interaction or need additional support, you can visit their nearest office to complete any service. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
There is a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now, because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbra floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth: what we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1 million trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhanced carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program, community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Primera llegada con peligro por parte de Pot. Vemos la repetición. Llegan los linderos del área. La número 7 llegó con todo. Pot. Estamos en vivo, en directo a través del canal 53 de Centaur. Izquierda viene cámara. El número 7 saca el disparo largo. El disparo de cámara.
Nosotros somos los campeones, estamos listos para National.
The local sugar market could soon see the entry of a new producer as government officials confirm that discussions are underway regarding the possible sale of additional locally produced sugar. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, Servo Labaiza, says that Santander Sugar Group, which operates in the western part of the country, has been lobbying to have its sugar sold on the local market. Currently, the company has only been able to export its sugar production. According to Baiza, the company has expressed interest in supplying sugar locally, a move that could introduce additional competition within the domestic market.
And they have been asking, I know they have been lobbying. I mean, when we were responsible for the industry, they have been lobbying with us, and they've been lobbying with other ministries, like investment and so on, that is responsible for the processing areas, because they operate under a concession, basically under the development processing areas, no? Under the DPAs. No? So they have been lobbying that they want to have access to the local market. And so that conversation continues. But now with the new investment also, where they're putting in the refinery, I think that conversation will probably deepen even more. And I'm sure that they will continue to lobby to have access to the local market. How soon that will be, I can't answer that. No? That's but the discussion is going. I'm sure that the discussion will intensify in terms of that. No?
While the possibility is being considered, Baiza noted that there is no clear timeline for when such a move could take place. Obesity in Belize is a critical public health issue, with nearly half of the population, approximately 136,700 plus adults, classified as overweight or obese, according to the 2025-2026 data, leading to high rates of chronic diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Obesity rates have increased significantly for over 30 years, driven by poor diet, processed foods, and sedentary lifestyles. According to the numbers, nearly 80,000 Belizean adults are obese, while another 56,700 are considered overweight. In the area of adult trends, about 34.6% of women and 19% of men were previously reported living with obesity, and overall adult obesity rates have risen to over 42%, according to recent estimations. In the area of childhood obesity, roughly 7% of children under 5 are obese, with the highest rates found in Belize City, 11%. With these alarming numbers, Belize joined the globe on March 4th to commemorate World Obesity Day to bring awareness on this growing problem. So, when are you considered overweight or obese, and what is the difference? The experts at the NRH gave us those answers today as they appeared on our Despierta Belize morning show.
So it's good to raise awareness throughout the month, right? Not only March, but as anytime we can, if we can bring awareness at health fairs and any time of the year. But yes, obesity is considered to be excessive fat accumulation in our body, whereby this is a risk factor for a lot of chronic diseases. So when we consider a patient or someone with obesity, we use the BMI, which is the body mass index. We calculate the weight and height from the patient, and if the patient has more than 30, then we consider them as obese.
Okay.
If we do the calculation and it is between 18.5 and 24.9, that is normal. If it's more than 25 to 29.9, then that is considered overweight. But
Okay.
once it's more than 30, we do consider that as obesity.
Okay. But how do you go calculating that? Because for most of us, probably, we just get on a scale and we're 150 pounds, we're 200 pounds. Oh, I'm not obese. Let's be real. When you get on the scale and some of us see 250 or 300 pounds, then we start to worry. Okay, you know what? I have to start losing weight. But we should worry even before that, right? So how do we calculate it, the body mass index for us to know, okay, you know what, I need to slow it down, or I need to start working out or losing weight?
Okay, the BMI is calculated by the weight divided by height times height. Okay? We use, well, personally I use kilograms and meters for the height. Yes, so once you have your weight, let's say 53 kilograms, and you divide by 1.53 times 1.53, which is the height in meters, then we get approximately like 24 more or less, taking from mine,
yes.
Then that would be considered as healthy.
Okay, all right. Now, Dr. Shraddha, I do know that it's been revealed that more than half of our population is actually considered obese.
Yes, more than half is actually considered overweight or obese.
So there's a difference.
Yes.
You're either overweight or you're obese. Let's talk about that difference then. When are you considered overweight?
Overweight, as Ms. Wendy said, is when your body mass index ranges less than 30, right?
Okay.
Less than 30, but it is above the normal, which is 25. So
Okay.
if it's above 25 and it's less than 30, that is what we consider overweight.
Okay.
And the difference between overweight and obese is very small, so you can jump fast from one classification to the
It is important to note that obesity does not happen overnight. It develops over time due to a combination of unhealthy eating habits, high consumption of sugary and processed foods, and limited physical activity.
First of all, Ms. Camille, worldwide, this problem of obesity is affecting a lot of people. It was first thought that this is a condition that affects the first world countries, right? Like the US, Europe, those high developed countries. But it has been shown recently that the developing countries, for example, Belize and third world countries, this problem is growing faster than in the first world countries.
Why is that though?
I think it has to do a lot with the type of food that we
Okay.
eat. We tend to eat a lot of processed food. We tend to not use a lot of vegetables. We are not eating a healthy and balanced diet as it should be. And a lot of sugary foods, junk foods.
Right.
Dr. Manuel Estrada, medical officer at the NRH, also emphasized that obesity is associated with major non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, which are increasingly impacting more families in Belize every year. The rising prevalence in adults and children alike underscores the necessity for immediate and ongoing intervention.
Knees, your hips, they have to bear the blunt of that weight. So this also leads to osteoarthritis, wear of bones, and in certain persons it can lead to deformities of the spinal column because then you start to curve inward because of the excess weight. And if we don't deal with these conditions in the long run, those persons will develop chronic conditions. These chronic conditions, as I rightfully said, was diabetes, hypertension, and all of these are other factors for cardiovascular diseases, for example, heart attacks. It can also lead for strokes more because the more fat you have, more atherosclerosis, and the veins and arteries get clogged up with a lot of cholesterol, triglyceride, and those also can lead.
At the end, overweight and obesity is preventable and manageable with the right lifestyle changes.
Expensive. We do have a plate whereby we put half of the plate vegetables, the other half of the plate includes proteins and carbohydrates. So now having cost-effective healthy meals, as what Ministry of Health and Wellness posted, we have the enchiladas, right? We can use chicken and a small portion, 1 teaspoon of cheese, right? It doesn't have to have a lot of cheese. Then having a lot of cheese makes it high in sodium and fat, right? So everything has to be really important. We also have to reduce foods that are high in sodium, sugar, sugary drinks, right? To keep a healthy lifestyle, we also have to stop smoking and also the alcohol. So alcohol consumption, sometimes I tell my patients, will you eat your calories or will you drink your calories, right?
Despite ongoing challenges in neighboring Mexico, Belize's cattle export industry continues to perform strongly, according to officials in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise. Chief Executive Officer in the ministry, Servo Baiza, says the export of cattle from Belize remains steady even as regional concerns persist. In recent months, reports from Mexico have highlighted challenges including cartel-related criminal activity in some areas, as well as the spread of the New World screwworm. Despite these developments, Baiza says Belize's cattle industry has continued to move product across the border. According to Baiza, cattle exports remain an important economic activity for local farmers, particularly those in northern and western Belize, where livestock production is concentrated.
Our exports to Mexico have not slowed down. I mean, we are exporting to Mexico. Our exportation continues. It hasn't with the advent of screwworm, there were some additional regulations put in place, but we are able to meet those new requirements, and we're following basically what was being asked of us to do. They actually help basically because now they had reduced the period of time where our animals have to be quarantined, so before they're being shipped out, and so the Mexican authorities do come and check the cattle before it leaves, to ensure that it's only healthy animals that are leaving the country. And so there's a system in place along with both Baja and Senacica, the authority in Mexico. And so our exploitation of cattle continues.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails, paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize.
This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
Belize's Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries, Honorable Rodwell Ferguson, officially transferred the presidency of the Comité Internacional Regional de Sanidad Agropecuaria, CIRSA, also known as the International Regional Committee on Agricultural Health, to Ingeniera Maria Fernanda Rivera Davila, Guatemala's Minister of Agriculture. During the handover, Minister Ferguson presented a comprehensive report highlighting the progress and accomplishments achieved under Belize's leadership since April 2025, when the 72nd Ordinary CIRSA meeting convened in San Pedro on Burgess Key. His efforts were warmly acknowledged, and as a symbol of gratitude, he was presented with a flying locust, a representation of IRSA, the International Regional Organization for Plant and Animal Health, which CIRSA oversees. The transition took place at the opening of the 73rd Ordinary CIRSA meeting, currently being held on March 17 and 18 in Guatemala City. Delegates are engaging in detailed reports and discussions addressing critical regional plant and animal health challenges, including the ongoing threat of the New World screwworm. The Ministry of Immigration Refugees Department, UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and the government of Japan have launched a new initiative to strengthen Belize's asylum system by implementing innovative digital solutions, improving data management and collection, strengthening legal framework, and reinforcing protection safeguards in line with international standards. This project is generously funded by the government of Japan, which is contributing 667,000 US dollars to support the initiative and ensure its successful implementation. The key component of the project is the development and rollout of a secure digital system to manage asylum cases. The system will modernize registration and case processing, improve the accuracy and reliability of data, and strengthen preparedness for increased asylum needs while ensuring confidentiality and data protection. Belize has a long-standing partnership with UNHCR, which has supported the country since the 1980s and continues to provide valuable technical guidance as we strengthen our national protection systems. Through collaboration with international partners, Belize continues to build institutions that uphold international standards and serve both people seeking protection and the communities that welcome them. And that's news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, March 18th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories /CTV3 News or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.